friends, so the collage for this month is going to be smoke and mirrors. So as you know, if you have watched any of my other videos, you know that when I collage, I like to tear the papers. It just feels good to me. It helps me to, let go of perfection, and it feels very real to me. So I just enjoy that. Nothing wrong with cutting for your collages. I just happen to enjoy the very hands-on part of tearing. Hello, Carl.
You tear it, Jovi.
Oh, I will, don't worry. I'm using this piece because the eyes here look very sad. This is just a skull of some sort. It's an animal skull. This is either a shark or an eel. I think that's a shark. We'll definitely use that. And it's a red shark, so that is going to be even more significant. That's a really cool piece of public art. It's amazing, actually. I'm looking forward to using that. It's just a masterpiece. Look at that. Look at this. Let me just check the other side and make sure. Yeah, okay. I thought so, but you know. As you guys know, if you saw the other videos, for this series, I am keeping it very personal. And so that's why some of these images are so incredibly intense, is because this collage, once again, will represent an experience that I had in my life, or maybe more importantly, more accurately I should say, represent a person that was in my life. Because this is 12 by 12. I honestly could paint an entire building mural with the feelings that I have on this subject matter. But I don't have access to that, so we're just going to start with this. Now, I picked blue because blue is the color of trust. And remember that our hashtag is smoke and mirrors. All right, guys, I've gone through the pictures once again to try to develop my thoughts, and so we're just gonna dive in. That's the only way to do this thing, is to dive in. So remember, we talked about blue is the color of trust, and one thing I'll tell you is that the person that was in my life, that his middle name could have been Smoke and Mirrors, like literally. He was a horrible human being, and he was an abusive human being, and he was also a con artist. And so we are depicting him here with this picture, because actually this picture of this man actually looks a lot like our con artist, who, let me just name it, it was my stepfather, and he was horrible. So what we've got is a liar and a thief here. I'm representing wealth here. That's what this piece, all these jewelry pieces are, because he used to pretend to others that he was wealthy. And like I said, he was a con man, so of course he had to put on the show. Let me put this jewel coming out of his mouth. Let's say that this jewel will represent the lies just spewing out of his mouth. You might notice as I work on this particular project, the tone of my voice might change, because the subject matter of this particular person makes me angry. He makes me angry. The memory of him makes me angry. He's dead now, but the memory of the time that he was in my life, you know, makes me angry. So you might sense that. You might not. I might end up sounding very calm, but usually when this person comes to mind, I go from 0 to 60 in the anger department really, really quickly. So I'm just forewarning you that, you know, whoops, you might notice that. You might not. That's fine. Whatever. Just let me know. So book your next dream. Well, you know what I love about the fact that that tore? Because, you know, he was just a master at tearing apart people's dreams. So that's really perfect that that tore like that. I love it. I couldn't love it more. It was just meant to be. Yeah, it was meant to be. So there's that. He was like an atomic bomb on the earth, so that's why, yeah, I think I want that right there. I think that's gonna be good. So this just represents, you know, what he did to people's lives. You know, me and my sisters, my mother, you know, he was a destroyer of things and humans. And so we're going to represent that right here. This is a beautiful painting of a shark. And we're going to go ahead and use this, but I wonder, I think I'd like it right here. Yeah, that's good, because instead of booking your next dream, we've got that saying, which I think is just so beautiful, because like that's the thing about a con man, is that that's what they want to make you think, and then they just devour you. So here he is devouring everybody who comes into his path. This piece represents fire, if you will. Fire in its most negative sense. Here's more fire. So you can see this whole town here is just burning, and there's lightning in the sky and clouds, and this man is in a panic. I'm sure that that's how people felt when all their money was taken from them. I'm sure there was a lot of panic going on in people's lives. I chose this because this person is out on a limb, but this is very sharp, and these things coming out of the wall are very sharp. So, you know, for me, I saw this image and I felt like it needed to go on here. And I can't explain it, but if my mind said it needed to go on here, then it needs to go on here. So if you look at this, you know, there's this sharpness to it, and then there's this one person out, you know, kind of stepping out, and they could fall. And I don't know, this is just a dangerous situation to me. It's scary to me, it's intimidating to me. So that's why that's on there. Well, let's take a look at the image. First of all, there's just it looks like a tsunami to me, actually. I don't know that that's what this is, but it looks like a tsunami, which, you know, is very perfect for this, because that's what life was, living with this person. It was in fact a tsunami, and here she is just hanging lifeless, which, you know, that was me at one point in time. All right, we're going to add more of the lie, more of the smoke and mirrors, the deceit. That's what people saw. This is what they got. Here's our sad eyes, and I have this piece here. It's a stunning piece. And this is a dress. It's beautiful, but it's empty. It could not be better. So this represents emptiness. You know, when people's words are empty, it represents that. It also represents, you know, the dress itself represents the glamour. I mean, it's a stunning dress. So that represents the glamorous part. But the emptiness of it represents, you know, the empty words and the lies. So I love that. I love that piece. Now we have this piece, And I chose this because it's red, which for me in this piece signifies, fire, burning, intensity, all that kind of stuff. But these women are crouched down, so I'm using these ladies. They would represent the subservient. Look at their position. It looks like they're lowly and subservient, and this would represent myself, my sister, my mother. So we've got the color blue, which represents trust. If you notice, a lot of politicians wear that color blue, and there's a reason for that, is because it represents trust. So we've got that, and then we've got the man with the jewels, and this that says book your next dream, and I'll finish painting that on there. And so then we've got him in the jewels, and then book your next dream, which tore while I was creating the piece, which is actually perfect. And then we've got this, I'm hoping you can see it, and I'll take some pictures of it up close, but there's a shark on this building here, and he's just got his mouth wide open, and here is an atomic bomb, literally. And it's perfect, because that's what this man does. He promises this, and he gives you this. And so we've got the promise, and the smoke and the mirrors are him hiding behind all the jewels and all the fakeness. And then if you're part of this person's life for any reason, whether business or personal, you're basically going to get devoured. You're going to get burned. These represent danger. So, these things are look how they're pointing. They could just stab you. And then this represents fire and blood. And then speaking of, we've got this fire over here. And then we've got these women that are subservient, which represents me and my sister and my mother. And then we've got this poor woman lifeless hanging from this limb. And then we have these sad eyes here, because life has been destroyed, or lives have been destroyed. And then here we have this dress, which represents, again, like the jewels, it represents just this, this pretend picture, this beauty, and yet it's empty. And that's what I love about this painting of this dress. There's nothing holding this dress up, emptiness, and that is exactly what smoke and mirrors are to me. It's absolute lies, cover-ups, emptiness, and that's what it is. And so I'm not going to cover up all the blue with my paint here, not at all. I'm just going to add a little bit of black here and there. I think this piece speaks for itself. I think it's pretty intense. It feels intense to me, of course. It may not feel intense to you at all. It was my experience, of course, so that's why it feels intense to me. I would have liked to translate that. I would have liked to give you guys the feeling of that intense experience, but I know that that's, it's hard for me to, get that to you. It's hard for me to speak through the camera that way, but maybe I did. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. I think I like it. I hope it expresses some of what I was trying to express. Well, friends, this is my completed project for #SmokeandMirrors. I hope you enjoyed watching me through this process. Thanks for watching. See you soon.